Okay, so welcome back here to the class. Uh, I think Abhishek Kittur, are you there? Abhishek, please answer. Yes, I hope all are active here. Okay, so Abhishek Tirthal, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So what about others? I think why the number is very less, only 33. Okay, okay. Uh, so I will be sharing the screen. Please check this. Only, yeah. So I think still many students are missing. Okay.
Sir, it's automatically exiting your team, sir.
Okay. There may be some technical issue. Okay. So we'll see that any
Yes,
of
sir.
those who are there, please retry again. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is this whether the screen is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So please mute yourself. Okay. Okay. So now, yes. So coming to the next lecture here. So we shall start with the next lecture. Sorry. So we know already in the last lecture we have discussed about series and parallel resistors, right? So and also the Kirchhoff's laws. So now in this lecture we will be discussing about the application of Kirchhoff's laws with respect to problems. Okay, so we'll see that one by one. Anyway, so now, so as I told in this lecture we are going to discuss about the problems on KVL and KCL. So KVL, if you recall about the KVL, it is nothing but what? So we have to consider the voltage drops across each element in a loop. Okay. And what is a loop? Also we'll see. And what about KCL? So KCL is summation of currents entering the node should be equal to summation of currents leaving the node. Right. So let us have a quick recap here by considering this circuit. So if I consider this circuit over here, so here as you can see, so as you can see, I have taken a very general circuit. So here you need to recognize how many loops are possible and how many nodes are possible and how many branches are there. Okay. So if you recall about each of these things, so we know that if you take a branch, if you think about a branch, so a branch can be or it will be, it should have an element associated with it. So it can be a resistor. So this we can call it as a single branch, right? So there may be a resistor followed by some voltage source also. This can also be considered as a single branch or a two branch. So you can call branch 1 and branch 2. So if you consider them together, you can call it as a single branch also. until and unless they are separated here. If some other element is there, then we cannot consider them as a separate, means a single branch. Okay. Now coming to the second thing over here, what we have is, what we need to know is the meaning of node, node or nodes. Okay. So if you consider a node or nodes, so what we can, how we can define them? So it is a point where, it is a point where branches meet. Yes. So is it comfortable? Are you comfortable with these presentations? So are you able to see this these things what I am writing? One of you can
Yes,
answer.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay,
Clear,
thank you.
sir.
Thank you. So fine. So now coming to the nodes. So I would like to take this circuit as an example to consider the node, or just to recap about the nodes. So as we know, it is a point where branches will meet. So if you consider the elements, so here we have this 10 volts element and 5 ohm resistor. So you can consider these things as separate branch, but since we don't have any diversion over here, so the current in this branch, it will be same. So hence you can consider it as a single branch. But here you can see the split up is there here and here. So it will constitute a node here and here as well and here as well. But all these three nodes can be considered as a single node, right? Because they are the common point. So its replica is given here. You can consider point B. So you can see clearly here point B, where we have 5 ohms, 2 ohms, 3 ohms and 2 amps elements are getting connected. Okay. And they have taken node A. You can skip node A also. You can include this 10 volt for point node B as well. So if I discard this A here, and if I just continue like this, it is also correct. So no need to worry. Okay. So just to make the things simple initially, so I have taken a node A here. Okay. So then we have a common node, that is node C. So node C is a point where all elements have been connected except this 5 ohms. So this representation, you can have a same representation like this also. Or even if I neglect this node A, I may come out with another figure, something like I can call here as B and point C only. So in between them, what we have is 2 ohm resistor, and here we have a 3 ohm resistor, and this 5 ohm and this voltage source, I can club them and I can use it here, 5 ohms and 10 volt source, and this current source what we have. Okay. So these are the different ways of representing these things. And now if you come across the loops, so let me clear these things. Okay. Now coming to the number of loops here, so if you consider the loops, they are nothing but what? Loops are nothing but they are the closed path. Closed path in a given circuit. Okay. So here we have many loops. Basically the visible loops are these things. I can consider the loops, this as loop 1, this one as loop 2, this one as loop 3, and also a outer loop what we have. Okay, so basically we can have 4 loops, and even you can also opt for some other additional loops also. So those additional loops, how we can get is, I'll just show with the different ink here. So you may even consider these as loops as well. We can have one loop like this, which is covering this 10 volts, 5 ohms, 3 ohms, and again back to 10 volts. Okay, and even this one as well, you can consider these as additional loops. Okay, so as we progress towards the different problems, you will come to know more about these things. Okay, so now coming to the next thing, that is the problems on KVL and KCL. So it is normally not a good practice to solve, particularly saying that you should solve by applying KVL itself or by applying KCL itself. So how to recognize or how to uh, apply KCL and KVL depending on which conditions. So if you consider the things here, so we can have a very basic strategy, that is when we can use KVL. So if you want to apply KVL, then look for number of voltage sources. So it is basically a very small trick here you need to use. It is not like a rules. So you can apply KCL as well, but in a circuit, if you find that there are more number of voltage sources, then it will be better to apply the KVL. So similarly, if you want to apply KCL, so you should look for what? You should look for current source, right? So where you have the maximum number of, if you have maximum number of current source, you can apply KCL, and if you have maximum number of voltage sources, you can use KVL. So what about when you have equal number of voltage source and current source? So then it depends on the circuit, how that circuit is there. You can use source transformation, you can convert it. So we'll see the problems anyway, one by one later. Now um, coming to the numerical problems over here, so I will just, so please go through this problem. So first thing what you need to understand here, you just think here. So the requirement here is you need to identify how many branches and how many nodes are there in the given circuit. So it is almost same as this circuit itself. So I think now by this time you should be able to tell how many nodes and how many branches we can have. So here now if you look into the thing, so first thing is you need to mark the common points. So here we have these common points. So first common point what we have is this one. So second common point is this one, and this is the very, okay. So these points where you have the common elements are getting meeting, so we can call them as node. So we'll call this as node number 1, node number 2, and node number 3. So along with that, now how many branches we have? So as we know, this is getting meted here, this is getting connected here, so you can call it as separate branch. branch 1, branch 2, and this one as branch 3, 4, and 6. Okay, so this is the answer for this. And also there is one more question, that is identify the elements that are in series and parallel. Okay,
Sim.
so I request please mute yourself from your end. Okay, so now looking at the given condition, so we have 1 ohm and 2 ohms, they are in parallel with each other. So this 1 ohm is parallel to 2 ohm, and this combination, it is in series. If you consider as one combination, it is in series with 5 ohms, and again it is in series with the parallel combination of 10 volts and 4 ohms. Okay, so this is how we can recognize. Now coming to the second problem example here. See, now onwards I am taking the problems where you need to apply KVL or KCL. So that you have to decide. And there are alternative examples which are like practice problems for you. You need to practice them. Okay. So make sure that you have practiced it on a book, and once you come offline, you need to show them. Okay. Now coming to this example number 2. So for the given circuit, what you need to find? So it is already mentioned that you need to find voltages V1 and V2. Okay. So let me just check out here. So what is the actual circuit given? So if you consider only this condition, if this circuit is given to you, so then how to proceed? So you can modify the circuit in this way. So what kind of modification I have done? I have just assumed that there is a current I flowing in a clockwise direction through the entire circuit. So now which law we need to use? Whether we need to use KVL or KCL? So that is the question mark. So as I told, you see that there are no current sources. We have only voltage sources mentioned and voltage drops are mentioned. So if you use KVL, it will be a very easy approach here, and as well as you need to apply the Ohm's law as well. Okay, and always please remember one thing while solving these problems. So this is a very important note here. You need to make a note. That is, if you are having, suppose if you have a resistor, something like this. Okay, and if I show the current direction like this. So according to passive sign convention, how a current should flow? Current will always flow from higher potential to lower potential. So in this way, if I ask you to define the Ohm's law, so we can define V equal to I into R. If I change the current direction with the same polarities, then it will be, instead of plus R, instead of plus I, it will be minus I into R. Okay, so this one you need to keep in your mind. Okay, so it will be useful here. So if you consider the same way now, if you apply KVL, if I apply KVL with respect to the loop current, I, so then what I will get is minus 20 plus V1 minus V2 equal to 0. But V1 and V2, they are unknowns, right? So how to find V1 and V2, or how to define V1 and V2? From Ohm's law and from this point, what I told, you can apply the law here, you can find V1. So here the polarity is like this. Our assumed current direction and polarity, it matches the passive sign convention. So the same current I flows here from higher potential to lower potential. So V1 I can write it as 2 times I, and similarly V2 I can write it as what now? The same current will flow, but how it is flowing? It is approaching the negative terminal. So V2 will be how much now? So V2 will be negative of 3 times, negative of 3 times I. So if I utilize these things here, so what I will get is minus 20 plus 2I plus 2I, then minus of minus 3I equal to 0. Okay, now you can find the value of I. So if you solve, you can see that it comes out to be 4 amps. And if you apply this value over here, you will be able to find V1 and V2. So V1 and V2, it comes out to be how much? 8 volts and minus 12 volts, right? Okay, so this is how we can use this. So if you have any doubts in this, please feel free to ask here. So you can speak out, no need to use the chat box one by one. So because I'm in full screen mode, again I need to exit otherwise.
Repeat, sir.
Okay, if you have any doubts, please ask. Somebody said repeat. So yes, please tell me.
Equation, sir. Written equation.
Which equation you are talking about?
Minus 20 plus V1 minus V2.
Okay, so no issues. So see here, this equation is written based on this circuit, right? And here this is the original circuit where current direction is not mentioned. So what I have assumed is the current direction. This is the assumed current direction is clockwise. Okay. So in your basic electrical circuits, if you have studied like something like voltage rise and voltage fall, so don't keep those things in mind. So just look into the polarity. Which polarity we have? Negative, and look into the direction of the current. Is it going clockwise? So whether our direction of current and the polarity, so that you have to consider. So according to clockwise way, if you consider, this will be minus 20. Then here we have plus V1. Then again negative polarity is mentioned, so it is minus V2 equal to 0, right? So is that clear, this equation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just consider the polarity. Suppose if I had mentioned here like minus and plus, then what you will take?
Minus 2.
No, no, this is plus and this is minus, so you have to
Okay,
take
sir.
plus 20. Okay, yes, is that clear to you?
Clear, sir.
Okay, so don't keep anything like voltage rise and voltage fall here. So just look into the polarity and you need to just write the equation. So this one I had discussed in maybe the last to last lecture. Okay, so no issues. So we need to practice these things. Fine. So this problem is for you. So everyone. So you need to solve this. Okay. So that is in slide number 7. It is there. So the problems marked with the yellow shades, they are the practice problems. You need to find V1 and V2. Okay, so I can just give you the hint. So few hints I can give you here. So as I told, look for voltage source. We have the voltage sources. We have voltage sources only, so we have to apply KVL, right? So current direction is not mentioned here as well. So you can assume the current direction as clockwise, or you may assume current direction as anti-clockwise also. It doesn't matter. So if you use anti-clockwise, so let me write the equation for anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise way, if you take, so it will be, I have taken the current as I prime. So you will get, I will start from the source here, you will get plus 8, then minus V1 plus 10, then plus V2 equal to 0. Okay. The same thing if you write in a clockwise way by considering the current as I, so we will see that the equations will remain same. So what I will get is, I can start from this source, minus 10 plus V1 minus 8 and minus V2 equal to 0. So if you rearrange these things, so here you can see that it is V2 minus V1 equal to how much? It is minus 10 minus 8, or you can say together as minus 18. So similarly here, V2 minus V1, it will be still the same. You can take these things to the RHS side. Okay. So this hint I have given based on these things, and from the previous problem, you need to come out with V1 and V2 values. So please make sure that you have maintained a separate sheet or a notebook for solving the practice problems. Okay. So put the today's date and you need to solve it. Okay. Slide is already shared with you, so we have the questions with you anyway. Okay, so now we shall go to the next problem. So here we have a problem associated with the dependent sources. Okay, so as you can see, what is the requirement here? You need to solve for V0 and I, right? So these are the two unknowns here. So if you just recall about these representations, a circular thing with this will be the independent voltage source, and if you consider an arrow, it will be independent current source. But whereas if I show something like this, diamond shape, plus and minus, these are dependent voltage source, and this is dependent current source. And please make note that the arrowhead, this arrowhead indicates positive polarity and this tail indicates the negative polarity. Okay. So now coming to this, we need to find V0 and I, and again by applying the KVL here. So first let us come out with the equation KVL to this circuit. If you apply, so you can see that you will get minus 12. Then what we have, so now there is no polarity. So if polarity is not given, you assume it as positive. What we can write, plus 4 times I. Then this is the what kind of source? It is a dependent voltage source. And it is what kind of dependent voltage source? There is some parameter called as V0 which is controlling. It is a voltage controlled voltage source, and its voltage is already given. Its voltage is 2 times V0. So we can write plus 2 times V0, plus because the polarity is like this according to the convention. And next what we have is minus 4, And here you have two options. You can write this as like since polarity is mentioned, we can write minus 6i, or you can even consider it as minus v naught also. Okay, so if you consider these things, then if I include minus 6i equal to 0, then we get two unknown terms. So what would be the best solution here? So you can replace the v0 with the different values. So how to differentiate with the v0? So I have to define v0 from circuit. What is v0? v0 is the voltage drop here, voltage drop across 6 ohm resistor. So if you consider this 6 ohm resistor, so what are the polarities already mentioned? Plus and minus, right? So how the current is flowing? Current is flowing in this direction. But according to passive sign convention, we know current should flow from higher potential to lower potential. So it is flowing in the opposite direction. So if you consider in that way, so here we can have a slight modification. So we can use these things as V0 equal to, I can define the current multiplied by resistor associated with that. So what is the current? Current is I. How it is approaching? It is approaching negative terminal. So I can write minus I times 6, or V0 will be equal to how much? Minus 6i, right? So if you solve for this, then you can get the values of I and V0. So you can solve this. You substitute this in the equation of the KVL, what we have. So here I have written plus because the current is written with respect to the resistor value, voltage, right? So if you substitute and check, you will see that I value turns out to be minus 8 amps and V0 turns out to be 48 volts. Okay, so this is how it is done. So is that clear to everyone? So if you have any queries or questions to be asked, please ask. Okay. Okay. So shall I proceed for the next one, next problem? Okay. Please communicate. Okay. So similarly, you need to solve for this also. So we have a similar kind of problem here. You need to find Vx and V0, right? So solve this anyway. So you will be getting the solutions at the end. Maybe once we finish all the 5 classes, I will give you the solutions. But I expect the same thing from you. You need to solve, and you need to, if I ask you to upload before Saturday, you should be able to upload it. Okay. So next problem, going to the next problem over here. So we'll consider another problem here. So it is asked to find the current I0 and V0. So we need to find the current I0 and V0. So two unknown terms are there, but if you study the circuit here, so what we have, how many number of current sources we have? We have three current sources, right? So we have three current sources and there are no voltage sources. Okay, so in selecting the analysis method, so it will be better to use KCL rather than KVL, right? So this current you can use the KCL. So how to apply KCL now? So first you understand how many nodes are there. So we see that there are two nodes. This is the one common node what we have, and this is also another node what we have, right? So I can redraw this circuit like this. I can consider this as node A, and we have this 4 ohms, and I naught direction is mentioned like this, right? And I have another current 3 amps entering like this. I have another current entering this node. That current is 0.5 times I naught, and this is what it is, again a current controlled current source. It is a current source, a dependent current source, which is controlled by another current which is flowing in the circuit, that is I naught, with some constant value. Where is that I naught? I naught is here. Okay, but it is a current source. So now we have a node where three currents are there. One is outgoing current, that is I naught, and two currents are entering, that is 0.5 times I naught and 3 amps. So if you apply KCL at node A, okay, so what we will be getting now? So we will be getting two currents are entering. Which are those two currents? 3 and 0.5 I naught. And which current is leaving? Current which is leaving is I naught, right? So if you solve for I naught, that implies I naught will be equal to, so if you solve, you should get 6 amps. Okay. So if you check out these things, then what is the another requirement? We need to find V naught as well. So where we have this V naught? We have V naught here. Okay. So if you consider the V naught here, so what we have? So it is associated with the 4 ohm resistor. So if I redraw this 4 ohm resistor here, just for our reference, so something like V naught is mentioned and I naught direction is mentioned. So according to Ohm's law and as well as the passive sign convention, we see that it is up to the mark of the passive sign convention. That is, current is flowing from higher potential to lower potential. So voltage drop with respect to V, Ohm's law is what? V equal to IR, that is I naught times 4. So I naught already we have found, so that is 6 into 4, so that will be 24 volts. Okay, so this is how you should approach. So next we have on the similar basis, we have a very tricky problem here. So I am just keep giving it to the as a practice problem. So here again you find that there are two current sources. So we can go for the application of KCL and you can find V naught and I naught. So I'm not saying that you should use only KCL. Even you can find through KVL also, but just try it from your end. Okay. So this is the third problem you need to approach based on KVL and KCL. Okay. Next, we shall go to the next one, that is problem number 5. So here now first you understand the circuit here and the question. So question mentioned here is, it is just mentioned that you need to just find the currents and voltages in the circuit. So if you look into the currents and voltages in the circuit, so already it is mentioned. So already it is mentioned the branch currents and which are the branch currents and which are the branch voltages. So here what we can assume, so if you want to apply the KVL, you require the loop currents, right? So I can assume somewhere few assumption you can make. So I can assume one loop current, that is loop 1 I can say. So another one will be loop 2. And what are the observations from the circuit? So what are the observations we can make out here? So first thing is we can define from Ohm's law. From Ohm's law we can define what is V1, V2 and V3. So V1 is what? So V1 is 8 times I1 from the figure, higher potential to lower potential, so that satisfies, that is fine. So V1 drop is 8 times I1. So similarly, what is V2? V2 will be 3 times associated current is I2, branch current, and similarly V3 will be how much? So they have given I3. So I3 means I3 will be approaching this branch till here. It will be I3 only. So we can write here as 6 times I3. So we have defined V1, V2, V3, I1, I2, I3. So next, how to solve? All three are unknowns, voltage as well as currents. But we have something like here the node. A node is available where three currents are flowing. So if we apply KCL at node A, then we find that one current is entering, that is I1, and two currents are leaving, that is I2 and I3. So if you rewrite these things, you can write I1 minus I2 minus I3 equal to 0, right? So based on this, now if you apply KVL as well, so if I apply KVL to loop 1, so if you apply KVL to loop 1, now consider only the voltage drops. So in the loop 1 we have 3 voltage drops. First is 30 volts, right? Second is V1 and V2. And if you go clockwise, polarity is minus, polarity is plus, polarity is plus. So that is going to give us minus 30 plus V1 plus V2 equal to 0. And if you rewrite this in terms of current, you can use 1 in 2, so that we will get minus 30 plus what is V1? V1 is 8 times I1, and what is V2? 3 times I2. So if you try to define what is I1, so I1 turns out to be 30 minus 3 times I2 divided by 8. Okay, So this is one condition in the example here. Similarly, if you try to define the KVL to the second loop, so if you apply KVL to the second loop as well, so what we get now? So if I apply KVL to loop 2, so then again which voltage drops we have? We have only two voltage drops. Go clockwise, we have V2 and V3. So I can write minus V2 plus V3 equal to 0, right? Or in other words, what we can write is V2 equal to V3 or V3 equal to V2. And again, using the definitions of V1, V2 and V3, so what we have, V3 is 6I3 and V2 is 3I2. So you can define I3 as what now? V1s are V2s are. So this will be I2 divided by 2. So this one I will call it as, let me call this as equation 3 and this one as equation 4. Now if I use equation 3 and 4, so now using 3 and 4 in 1, so I have defined I3 and I can get I1 from third equation, I3 from fourth equation. So if I use it, so I will be able to calculate the values of I2, I3 and I1. So next is only the mathematics. See, so just to apply the concepts of network theory, next is only the mathematics. So if you use them, so you should get I2 equal to how much? 2 amps. Similarly, I3 equal to 1 amps. Then I1 equal to 3 amps. So if I use these results here, then I will be able to calculate V1, V2 and V3. So that turns out to be 24 volts, 6 volts and 6 volts, right? I2 is 2 and I1 is 3 and I3 is 1 amps. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. So next there is another practice problem mentioned for you. And see, in the Bloom's level, as I told, so for after every class we are just attaching the Bloom's level definitions here anyway. So you can go through these things. Okay, so now uh, coming to the presentation here. Okay, so now if you have any questions, you can ask anyway. Only 67 are there. Okay. So is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So,
Yes,
are you
sir.
comfortable with these presentations? So, I'm using a pen tablet for writing and all. Are you comfortable with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Fine, no issues. So, if you have any questions regarding the problems what we have discussed, so we have another 5 minutes. So, you can ask. You are free to ask. Who is this Basavaraj Masuti? Are you there? Basavaraj, are you there? Bhumika,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so fine. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Hmm. Who is this Aishwarya? Aishwarya, are you there? Yes, am I audible, Aishwarya?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you have any questions, you can ask. Abhishek, I think, who is Abhishek Kittur? Why it is showing your ideal? Are you ideal there? Akshay Gandge. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can post it in the chat box right now. So we can use last 5 minutes for the discussions. Okay. And the practice problems, what I have mentioned. So please go through these things. And these problems I have taken from the your reference textbooks. That is Matthew Sadipo and Alexander. Okay. Fundamentals of Electric Circuits. It is a very good book. So I have the soft copy. I will share with you. Okay. Okay. So fine. So if you have any questions, please ask. Okay. So fine. So if it is okay from your end, so we'll see you tomorrow anyway. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for attending.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And please inform others to attend. I think only 66 are there. What about another 30? So if you have any issues, please inform us at least 15-20 minutes before the class. Okay. Thank you.